Good evening, everybody, on this comforting, quiet fall Monday night. I'm Cheryl Moore, and I am very happy to be with you here for a series of recordings for evening quiet, meditation, and mindfulness. I have been a program provider at the center for a very long time now, and I'm happy to bring you this opportunity to wind down in the evening. Before we begin the actual meditation practice, because some of you might be new to meditation, I thought I would just provide a little bit of a parameter about what to expect over the next 4 weeks as we begin this program. So we've set it up as a series of 4, allowing us to think about the full 4 dimensions of our being: body, mind, heart, and soul, and therefore to address in the meditation, mindfulness, awareness practice one of each of these components of our well-being over the courses of the week. So tonight we're going to do a practice that focuses on the body or our physical health and well-being. Next week we'll shift that to the mind. The third week we'll shift it to the heart or our emotions, and the final week the soul. There are many ways to do meditation and mindfulness, and so we can shift our awareness of our practice each week to bring our attention to each of those specific dimensions of our health and wellness overall. So that's our plan for the next 4 weeks. Our sessions are only half an hour, so it won't take a lot of your time, and hopefully it just calms you down and allows you to end your day quietly in a peaceful and centered place. I wanted to speak a little bit about just a few basics around meditation versus relaxation, kind of some standard postures and breath work, definitions and understanding, and just what is it? What is meditation and mindfulness? Not everybody's aware. So we'll go through a couple of those things briefly as we begin tonight. So if we were to define meditation, people think it needs to be some really complicated practice that takes a lot of time and that we're supposed to get some super calm Zen, experience. That's not the case. Meditation, very simply, is just the practice of stilling the mind. That is it. That is the definition. Trying to slow down all that monkey mind that carries us through every day, all our thoughts, which can get very scrambled and ahead of us and keep us from being present, being clear, being thoughtful, being present. So stilling the mind, the practice of stilling the mind. And I would emphasize the word practice, right? It's not necessarily anything we master in our lifetime. It is an ongoing practice. The other thing I think is important is that often in teachings, people will talk about the purpose of meditation, or even in our own self in terms of our expectation. We want to answer the question, why do I meditate? And I would encourage you from a Buddhist perspective to let go of the idea of purpose, because if we establish for ourselves a purpose, I am doing this because, then we already set up expectations. And when we don't meet those expectations, we're frustrated. So we're simply here to be present and practice. From a Buddhist perspective, that's the end of it. We can say that there are benefits and outcomes, definitely. There may be benefits to the practice, but that's different than entering into the experience with the idea that there's a purpose. So if we could just be detached, what are some of the benefits and outcomes? So if we practice on an ongoing basis and we get some kind of sense of mastery for ourselves about what is comfortable for us to drop into this awareness moment, some things we can see is increased focus and concentration, increased clarity as we calm that monkey mind, increased presence, being very aware and fully present in the moment, in our body and our senses and our awareness of how we actually feel, again, across those 4 dimensions of being. It certainly can be a benefit that it will decrease our sense of stress, and overall that means we impact our physical health in particular, since we're talking about that tonight. The practice can support the nervous system, and it can decrease pain. It can decrease our heart rate, our high metabolism. It can balance blood pressure. All of these things can happen physically from practicing. Some forms of meditation can increase our sense of self-esteem. Others can increase our connection to our intuitive mind or our wisdom, our innate wisdom, or our spiritual self. Some practices are kind of prayer focused, so they bring that component into the practice. So these are all possible outcomes, if you will, if you want to call them that. With respect to our purpose for tonight, we don't have one other than practicing stilling the mind and bringing awareness to the body. Plain and simple. That's our goal, right? Just to be in it. So what does it mean to be detached from the expectations of the outcome? Let me just speak to you about that as we go through the experience. So in true Buddhist fashion, we would go through an experience, and it's very typical in meditation that we're going to first notice that we're uncomfortable, or something in our body hurts, or our mind is wandering, and all of these things right away can kick us into frustration, where our mind starts to go, oh, this isn't working for me, or oh, I'm not calm enough, or oh, I'm not doing it right. We always love to do self-doubt and self-blame. We're so good at that, right? Let's face it, all of us can be our own worst enemy sometimes. So what we want to do is not add more thought to what we're noticing, what we're experiencing. We want to just be with what we're noticing, be with what we're experiencing, okay? And in true Buddhist fashion, we would find that detached, curious mind that instead would say things like, for example, I notice my back's a little sore tonight. Isn't that interesting? Or, I notice I'm having a hard time paying attention. Isn't that interesting? Right? And then that way, the thought goes right on by. What we notice goes right on by. We come back to the experience, back to presence. Okay? So trying to find the detached, curious mind that is just aware of whatever's happening, and therefore we don't have to judge that it was a good practice or a bad practice, or it worked or it didn't, or I knew what I was doing or I didn't, or I was good at it or not. Forget all that. We show up, we practice, we breathe, we're present, we're stilling the mind. And in the beginning, we might only get 10 seconds, maybe 30 seconds when we're fully there. Then we wander, we notice something, we bring ourselves back. That's still the practice, okay? And finally, I want to just say something about meditation versus relaxation. So when we meditate, we might use the exact same words, the exact same breath, the exact same idea. And the difference very subtly is that in meditation, we don't want to fall asleep. In meditation, we're creating concentration, focus, and discipline with our mind. So in meditation, we sit, and with respect to that, finding a comfortable chair for your meditation practice, whatever you sit in, let your back be fully supported. I like to sit in my kitchen or dining room chairs. Let your back be fully supported. Let your butt be right into the chair so that you have full support in your back. Let your feet be planted on the ground, connected, not crossed in any way. Don't have your legs crossed. Don't have your arms crossed. Don't have anything crossed unless you're sitting cross-legged on the floor, which is fine. That's also very solid. Sometimes up against a wall is nice with a pillow. Again, in that way, we allow the seat to ground us to the earth as opposed to the feet. We want to be grounded and connected to the earth. And we let our hands rest in our lap in an open and receptive posture, which means that our palms are facing up so they can sit side by side on your lap. Sometimes I like to put a pillow on my lap and then rest my arms because that takes the weight off my shoulders. I don't feel any extra burden there. That sometimes helps. And your hands can rest cupped one on top of the other, but the palms are facing up. So back is straight, feet are planted, we feel grounded, and our hands give the message that we are open and receptive to our practice, to our experience. Okay. The next thing that's important, that's different than relaxation, might be how we breathe. So let me just shift back for a second. If you fall asleep because it's a beautiful time of evening when you're watching this, that's okay. Beautiful. Perfect. Okay. The difference between meditation and relaxation might not be what you do, but might be how it affects you in terms of the outcome. In meditation, we're getting clarity and focus. In relaxation, we might be trying to fall asleep, in which case, by all means, lay on your bed, Put your legs up over some pillows. Get comfortable again. Make sure that your spine is straight and that your hands are open and facing the ceiling. Okay? That's okay if you want relaxation. All good. Then we're into breath. So with breath and relaxation, we might do specific kinds of breathing. We might be counting. We might be really focusing on in through the nose and out through the mouth. We might really be working with the breath to create a relaxation response in the body. But in meditation, we simply want to be aware of intentional, purposeful, slow, elongated breath. Coming back to how we breathe when we're babies, because right now, most of us do shallow breathing, especially through the day, which is what I'm doing right now when I talk. It means my breath only comes into the lungs, into the chest, right? And slow, intentional, full belly breathing. The breath comes all the way down into the belly, gets a bit deeper and elongated. There's no special way in through nose, out through mouth. It's easier actually if you can breathe to just go in and out the nose. Let it be subtle. Let it be your own natural rate and rhythm. Let it be full and simply all the way down to the belly. So I'm just slowing the breath down. Letting it be full. Letting it be natural. No special effort. Okay. Those are all my little tidbits as we begin week 1 of our 4-week series in evening quiet meditation and mindfulness. Tonight's practice is to focus on the body. We'll move into that now. So please find yourself comfortable. Find that chair. Get those feet planted and grounded. Figure out how you can rest so that your arms are comfortable in your lap, whether you need that pillow or not. You might want a blanket around your shoulders or across your lap. It's very common in meditation for our temperature to drop. And all I'm going to do to begin is just ring my bells 3 times, ask you to close your eyes, give you 1 minute of silence, and I'll ring the bells again. This is just to begin to create our own core and center, to bring ourselves into our own space, and to just take a moment to notice how you're actually feeling in this moment. Check in with your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul. Okay, here we go. Gently opening your eyes and just taking this moment to just think about what you noticed, whether you were comfortable, whether you need to make any other adjustments to the way you're sitting, to anything at all that's going to help you to move past any discomfort in the body so that we can move in to a 15-minute practice. I will be guiding you through the practice, but that minute gave you a moment to check in where you're at, body, mind, heart, and soul, what you need in this moment to allow your experience to be as gentle and present as possible. So take that moment to make those adjustments. And we're going to move into a 15-minute practice that I will guide you through, specifically focusing on your body, on awareness of the physical. We are practicing. We are stilling the mind. Okay? Just going to hopefully get some music going here for you in the background that will get picked up okay on the record mechanism. And one more time, checking that your back is straight, your feet are planted, hands are in a receptive posture. Closing your eyes, maybe allowing your head to fall slightly forward, taking the pressure off your neck and shoulders. And then finding the breath, noticing the breath without changing the rate or the rhythm. Just notice when you are breathing in and when you are breathing out. Gently, as you become aware of the breath, soften the breath, deepen the breath, elongate the breath without particular exertion. Let the breath move all the way into the belly and all the way out. You may notice what we call three-part breath as you watch the breath in this moment, which means we become aware first that the breath moves through the chest and the lungs. As we feel the chest as it opens and closes, then we may feel the breath move through the diaphragm, again, upper abdomen expanding. And finally, we feel the belly rise and fall. So the breath moves through chest, diaphragm, and belly, and it leaves through belly, diaphragm, and chest. Breathing in and out. Back is straight and supported. Feet are grounded to the earth. Hands are open and receptive to receiving. I invite you to notice your feet. Breathing in and out, simply notice your feet. See if you can actually notice the energetic space between your two big toes. However your feet are planted and rooted to the floor, notice the space between your two big toes. And notice all your toes. Notice the arches. Notice the heels. Maybe even notice your ankles. You are curious and detached as you notice how your feet feel in this moment. Bring your awareness now to your legs. Notice the calves, the shins, Notice the knees, all the little muscles around the knees in front, on the side and the back. Notice your thighs. Notice your hamstrings as you sit in the chair. Notice how your legs feel as they make contact with the chair. With your eyes closed, continue to breathe. Slow, deep, elongated breath following my voice. Noticing your legs. Notice your mind in this moment. Are you present in the awareness of your breath? In the awareness of your legs? And if you're not, that's okay. You're practicing. You might say to yourself, I'm not paying attention. Isn't that interesting? And then come back, bring the awareness back to the breath, back to the present, back to the practice, back to the legs. Be the curious observer of your mindful experience. Bring your awareness to your seat, to your hips, your pelvis, as it makes contact with the chair beneath you. And then notice your hips, your seat, your pelvis as they are attached to your legs and attached to your feet. Noticing this whole, if you want to call it, trunk of your body, this part of you that grounds you to the earth, grounds you to the physical, grounds you to the density of your human experience. Noticing the lower half of your body as you sit in the chair. You are the curious observer as you notice your seat, your hips, your pelvis, your legs, your feet, your trunk. And breathe. Move your awareness now as you continue to breathe to your back. Again, notice your back against the chair behind you, or the surface that you're leaning against, the wall, the couch. Maybe it's the bed. Notice how your back makes contact with the surface that supports you. You're noticing with curiosity how your back feels in this moment. It is not good or bad, it's just interesting. No attachment to outcome, no expectation. Breathe. Notice the lower back. Notice the middle back. Notice the upper back. Notice the shoulders, they carry a lot of tension. Notice the shoulder blades, maybe the space between the shoulder blades. Anywhere in the back where you notice any sense of discomfort, just allow the breath to move into that part of the back. Send the breath there as you notice the discomfort. Send the breath into the back. Maybe there is no discomfort and that feels perfect, and that's okay. We're just present, we're curious, we're noticing all parts of our physical being. And then move your awareness to the front of your body, to the lower belly, the mid belly, all the organs. Can you notice your organs internally? Can you find your core, your center deep within? So much so in this present moment that you notice the stomach or the adrenals or the kidneys or the bladder, that you notice the liver and gallbladder. Notice how your inner organs are working for you and supporting you in this moment. And keep breathing. Notice your thoughts. If you're drifting, use your breath. Bring yourself back. Finding that natural rate and rhythm once more as you come back to the breath and come back to the present, being aware of the body. Move your awareness to the chest, the lungs, the heart, the diaphragm. Notice the chest as it expands and contracts. Simply noticing, simply practicing. Bring your awareness to the shoulders and then all the way down your arms, your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms. Notice your hands. Notice how your hands make contact with the surface beneath you, whether that's your lap or a pillow or the chair, whatever they're resting on. Notice the hands. See if you can even notice your fingers. See if you can notice the energy in your hands. The tingling, the pulsing, the temperature. Might be hot, might be cold. Notice the arms. Notice the hands. Notice the fingers. And breathe. Notice your neck, front and back of the neck, and both sides of the neck, all around the neck. Continue to breathe, continue to shift your awareness, your focus, your concentration as we move our way through the face and the head. Notice your jaw, your mouth, your teeth, and your tongue. Notice your nose and your cheeks. You may even gently, subtly notice the breath at the tip of the nostrils moving in and out. Notice your ears. Notice your eyes, your eyelids, your eyelashes, your eyebrows, the space between the eyebrows at the crease in the forehead. Notice, just notice your face right up across all of your forehead, up to the top of the hairline. Notice the top of your head and the back of your head. Notice your face and your head in its entirety. And breathe. Notice your thoughts, be curious and detached. Whatever you're noticing, the key words are, isn't that interesting? And let that thought, that awareness, what you notice, let it go, and then just come back to the breath. Now that we've checked in and we've noticed all parts of our physical being, I want you to choose one part of your body that you're called to. Perhaps it's the part that needs attention in this moment, or perhaps it's the part that grounds you so much with such a sense of core centering and focus that it allows you to be completely present in this experience with no distraction. Find that body part, choose where you want it to be, whether it's your feet, your belly, your back, your face, your head. Choose that place of focus. And for the next 2 minutes, I'm going to be silent, and I'm going to ask you to just breathe your awareness into this place in your body. Connect fully and completely in this present moment with this part of your physical being completely aware and present. Completely aware and present. Leaving you here in 2 minutes in silence, breathing your awareness into this one specific chosen part of your physical being in this moment. Keeping eyes closed and attention inward, bring your awareness back to the breath. Notice when you are breathing in and when you are breathing out. Keeping eyes closed and attention inward, bring your awareness back to the hands and the feet. You may wish to wiggle the fingers and toes or circle the ankles and wrists. And keeping eyes closed and attention inward, begin to find your way back to the external, to the space around you as you gently notice the space in front of you, behind you, above and below you, and on each side of you. And then gently opening your eyes as you come back to the day at hand. You may want to give yourself a big breath in. Exhale with a sigh. You may want to stretch and yawn as you come back to the awareness of the room. You may want to take just a moment to focus on gratitude, to feel gratitude in your heart for taking this time for you, for the practice of meditation and mindfulness for the body, for the space that you've created, for showing up. Breathe gratitude into your heart. And then you may want to take a few moments or minutes to reflect on the experience, on how present you were, on what seemed like it worked for you, on what distractions you had, not because we're attached, but because if we notice, if we reflect, if we take stock, perhaps we can make some subtle changes or adjustments to our practice the next time that will eliminate those distractions more quickly, allowing us to become centered and present for a fuller, more complete meditation practice. That's my time with you for this evening. I hope you've enjoyed it. If it's the end of your day, I wish you a quiet, restful, relaxing rest of the evening ahead of you. I thank you for taking this time for you, and I hope that you have enjoyed this opportunity to focus on meditation for the body, for your physical health and well-being. Bye for now.